What is up, vinyl community? Thanks for coming back for another episode of 70s Hard and Heavy. I got 3 records to look at. I've got Nantucket Sleighride from Mountain. I've got Blood Rock 2, as well as Blue Mountain Eagle. Let's get started with Nantucket Sleighride. This is Mountain's second album. This was recorded while they were on the road, big time, promoting their first album that had Mississippi Queen on it. You might be familiar. I think Mountain is probably one of the biggest underrated bands that are out there because they're big, they're huge, they're loved, but then also kind of fall into that, you know, underground kind of category. So this is a great example of early heavy metal, very influential in heavy metal, and certainly loud. Mountain was known for playing loud. So talk about who's in Mountain. You got Leslie West, Mountain. He's also playing with Corky Lang on drums, who's an underrated drummer in my opinion, especially after reading about some of his career when I'm doing my homework for this. References are below. They brought in Steve Knight because of the Cream connection to be on keyboards or organ. And then don't forget Felix Pappalardi, who's a lot of the genius behind the band as well, especially with writing credits. So Felix, because of the volume he was exposed to, he ended up having to retire early due to hearing loss, and then came to a tragic end in 1983 when he was shot by his wife, Gail Simmons. So I don't know if there was jealousy or what was all involved in that. But he came to an untimely end. So this is 1971, if you rewind, and Gail Simmons is married to him, and they had a long, happy marriage up to that point. But she's the one that did all the artwork for this. So take a look at the artwork here. The gatefold is really cool, but when you look at it, you think, this might be an Italian prog album or psychedelic. Doesn't match the music at all. This is 70s hard and heavy. Leslie West just has that awesome sound, great voice, and as well as a lot of riff-driven tracks on here. So you open up the gatefold, look on the inside, and the artwork starts to make a little bit more sense. Nantucket Sleighride is actually a term. I learned that this is a term for when back in the 1800s when they would harpoon whales. The whale could get injured by a harpoon and then kind of drag the boat along for a while until it got wore out. So that is going on in Nantucket Sleighride. Really solid tracks on here. Don't Look Around, the album opener. I mean, probably one of my favorite ones just because it's a little bit crazier. Probably one of the more heavier ones. Great Train Robberies, a really good song. Tired Angels. This is dedicated to Jimi Marshall Hendrix. You may have heard of him, but excellent song, and it has a really cool bridge on it. So this is a really solid, nice listen, organic, a little bit more chill as far as the 70s hard and heavy goes. So it's not like a Lucifer's Friend or Sir Lord Baltimore or anything like that, but great music. If you can track this down, try to find one that has the booklet inside. So the artwork continues into this booklet. It's probably over 50 pages long. It has the lyrics handwritten, and then I think there's some graphics and some things like that here. This is kind of interesting. Whales compared to elephants kind of thing. So cool little booklet that comes in it. So anytime you see one of these, check it out and see if the booklet is in it. This is 1971 pressing on Windfall. It's kind of thin, you know, typical 70s pressing. Not a lot of bottom end on this, but there is a 2004 remaster, I believe, or at least a 2004 CD edition that's available that has 2 extra bonus tracks on it. So let's check out a track from Mountain's Nantucket Sleighride. All right, next up we have Blood Rock 2. This is their third, fourth album, not sure which one it is. But Blood Rock, Jim Rutheridge on vocals. I still want to say that Blood Rock's first album, which made an earlier appearance on 70s Hard and Heavy, Melvin Laid an Egg has got to be one of my favorite songs that they did. But here we got Jim Rutheridge, Lee Pickens, Nick Taylor, Eddie Grundy, Steve Hill on keyboards and also vocals. Most of these guys sing, and Rick Cobb on drums. These guys are from Texas. And what else we got for this? The epic song on here is DOA. 8 minutes, over 8 minutes long, and it's not only is it a song about kind of an airplane crash, but it's like a first person. And it's about a sort of a survivor of this plane crash. It's really eerie. It's got some freaky lyrics in it. If you pick up the 45 or have the 45 of it, it's split in half. It has an A and B side on it. Solid album. This has 4 songs. They brought in John Nitzinger. So Jim Rutheridge likes John Nitzinger's writing. So they brought in John Nitzinger of Nitzinger fame, which also made an earlier appearance on 70s Hard and Heavy. Wrote at least 4 of these tracks, including Lucky in the Morning, which is the album opener. And then DOA, this is where I'm going to do a needle drop on DOA. Killer track, totally makes this album worth it. And this is a Winchester pressing on that green Capitol label. For some reason I want to say that I thought this was a reissue, but I think this might be an original. But it's got that really ugly green Capitol label there, Winchester pressing. Let's take a listen to DOA.
The face beside me stopped it totally bleeding. The girl I knew has such a distant stare. I remember we were flying low and hit something in the air. I remember we were flying low and hit something in the air.
All right, just one more to show before I let you go. This is Blue Mountain Eagle. It's an American acid rock band, partially formed out of the new Buffalo Springfield. And I don't know, it's acid rock, it's psych rock, but I feel like it's not enough psych to really please the psych fans, the diehard psych fans, and I don't think it's gritty enough for the guys looking for the Sir Lord Baltimore's or the Lucifer's Friend. This is a great album though. I mean, it's just an awesome recording. It's a little bit more organic, a little bit more chill, but still blues, good heavy blues rock. On my first spin, I like the track Sweet Mama on the second side. Side 1 on the second side was No Regrets. But the really killer track on here is Loveless Lives. This is a really good groove on it. This album, I read an interview from one of the band members here a while back that was talking about the recording of this album, where they just lined up the guitar amps on one side, the bass amps on the other, and they just let it rip. So that's kind of the recording you get. So you get that live, full live recording sound. And I don't think the original master tapes were available, but this is the 2015 Record Store Day reissue. That was, the lacquers were mastered by the master engineer, Chris Bellman. So this is a really cool, awesome pressing with the paste over on the back. It's on the classic Atco yellow label. And when I slid it out of the package, it just has that satisfying 180 gram weight to it. And it's just mint condition. So this is just a lot of fun to listen to. Yeah, Loveless Lives, taken out side 1. Really good album, despite it not being real heavy or real psychedelic at the same time. These guys opened for Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd, as well as Santana back in the early 70s. So before I'm gonna do a needle drop of Blue Mountain Eagle to take us out. And if I messed anything up or you want to add anything, any comments to these bands, please let me know what you thought. And we'll let Blue Mountain Eagle take us out, and take care. Well, I hope to see you back in the next episode.